statement, then of course people want to laugh about it. They laughed at Dr. King too.
What?
They laughed at Barack Obama.
This was all last year.
Yeah. Huh? This is your U.S. history?
What you mean?
This is U.S. history.
What you mean? You mean African-American U.S. history? Which is our history.
The fact is, though,
I'm a changed man. I'm a changed man.
You told us that in first period.
Let me ask you, Boyko, has all these cameras made us safer?
Yeah, let me tell you about those Boston bombers.
Oh,
those
really?
guys that were going to blow up multiple places.
Man, don't people so scared in Boston they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do in Boston, they so scared.
But they caught those guys.
Okay, but
do you know how much?
Does that have that made the good people of America safer?
I think it has.
Oh, please.
Look, there's a slide scale. Landy at some point's gonna make me a nice graphic. And on one, look, he nodded. He's like, yeah.
He nodded.
I'm gonna do it. On one
that
side,
was a unique nod.
on one side's gonna say freedom, and the other side's gonna say safety. And you only get to go back and forth on that slide scale. And after 9/11,
yeah, which is Friday.
After 9/11, 13 years.
14, Boyko. 2000.
14 years.
Boyko.
No, I can't win anything.
Hey, you know what? The thing about it? He's the 9/11 guy.
Yeah, he said he had
what did I do when we on 9/11? I think we were talking about slavery, wasn't we?
Yeah.
Free the slaves. Free the slaves. Our man A. Lincoln.
What did that have to do with 9/11 again?
Nothing. That was the point.
All right.
Although now
that's
we talking
what you
about
talked
freedom.
on 9/11. That's what you talked about on 9/11.
But since we talking about freedom, come on, Boyko, let's be realistic. Has all these cameras made people feel safe?
Feel safe? Yes.
It does? I think to the contrary. I think it demonstrates people's fear. It demonstrates people's fear. And remember, we learned about this. We learned about this in U.S. history. Remember what was President Roosevelt's one of his big four? Freedom from what?
The government.
Freedom from want. Freedom from hunger. Freedom of religion.
And
freedom from fear.
From fear, yeah.
That was the 4 freedom speech, remember?
Which Roosevelt are we talking about? Are we talking about
Franklin?
Yeah, FDR.
Don't, dude, if he says Roosevelt,
actually,
just forget Teddy. Just forget Teddy.
Yeah,
he ain't talking about Teddy.
Mr. Balkman actually changed my point of view on presidents. I actually have a favorite president now.
Who's your favorite president?
It's actually FDR.
Let no one say it cannot be done. It must be done, and we have to have the will to do it. Yes. Don't be mad because my influence is slowly but quietly and effectively powerful.
Well, I'm about to head on to...
With persuasion, Boyko. See, persuasion over here, rather than force. You. See.
That's true. I don't persuade my students anything.
Persuasion.
Apparently, I persuade them about the wrong day Hitler died.
Amongst other things.
Which is horrible. That
who had to correct you?
You.
I rest my case.
Yeah.
And I don't even say I like World War II. How much time did I spend on the Holocaust? I don't think I talked about it.
No, I don't think we talked about it.
No, we talked about it. Let's say if you want to learn about it.
World War II, but
yeah,
no.
I think I said if you want to learn about the Holocaust, go across the hall and take Boyko's class. And let's keep it moving. Because we had to talk about other things.
That's true. There's no Holocaust questions on the U.S. exam.
There may have been, but we needed to talk about we needed to talk about.
That's right. We needed to spend 18 weeks on civil rights.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the defining moment of American
I'm starting to agree. I am starting to agree.
You're running cross country again.
You're running cross country.
I saw him on the track one day.
Run well, run fast.
Why don't you have the rest of the basketball team out there doing cross country?
I'm trying to get some people.
It makes sense.
It's just good for training.
The coach that coached cross country, she actually left. Miss O'Neill.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and Coach Hayes she asked Coach Hayes to be the coach. And
so she's not doing it anymore. Coach Hayes is doing it?
No, she's doing it, but Coach Hayes was going to do it. He said he was willing to do it. And he said the whole basketball team would have been on the cross country.
Yeah, because it makes sense. It's good conditioning.
It is.
And then when he make y'all do that 6-minute mile run,
yeah,
everybody could.
5:45 now.
It's how long?
5:45.
That's where you're pulling. 5:45.
I'm pulling like 5:38.
Outstanding. See.
But see, then instead of wasting all that valuable time, y'all can move home to the real training. Nonetheless, Boyko. All right, Caesar.
See you, buddy.
See you.
Go get a job today, Caesar.
Ding, ding, last one.
The fact of the matter is, Boyko, I still go back.
The boy does like 90 things at the school. Go get a job, Caesar.
But none of them make any money. Cash, money, always.
Yeah, that's why we became teachers. Just so everybody knows, we teach for the money. That's why we teach.
Other way, Caesar. Other way, Caesar. You don't want to be walking in front of
That doesn't. Wow, look at you producing.
I know what I'm.
Wow.
No problem, Caesar. You know I
Look at you producing. Wow.
The fact of the matter is, Boyko, we go back to the question at hand.
Don't trip over Landy's wires there. He's got his big board.
Yeah. We don't want to lose the power. Has it made Americans or any other people safer?
I feel safer.
You do?
Yeah.
I don't feel safer.
Why not? Do you feel like you're guilty when you drive through an intersection?
I feel like
Look, do you know how many people get screwed on car fraud, auto fraud? And now these cameras protect a lot of people because they can just pull it up and apparently show you a video of your truck going through a red light.
Obviously, people have realized how it violates one's constitutional rights. That's why cities are getting rid of these cameras.
It's definitely up for discussion.
They're getting rid of these cameras.
Well, they're getting rid of them because that's the run-to on if I got a ticket, I'm going to use that excuse to get out of my ticket. But the first time there's a terrorist attack, run to the cameras, run to the cameras. Yeah, we go to those cameras.
But the terrorist attack is taking place, so it didn't do you no good.
Yeah, but we make sure they don't do another one. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying.
I'm not saying you telling the truth.
And time out. This is what we're coming to. Soon cities are going to have a few drones up there, and they're going to be able to tell if there's a car accident immediately to send help.
Yeah, it's not what they're going to be using them drones for.
Well,
that might be they underhanded.
Look, I get the Big Brother reference.
That might be the veneer that they say in front of people. But that ain't be what they're really going to be doing.
What, they going to be floating in front of your room? Like, what's Balkmon up to?
More Boyko.
Look, what they got to worry about from me?
Look, because your background.
What background?
You know, you the one up here trying to be the second Messiah.
What?
The third Messiah.
You mean after Kanye?
Yeah, okay.
Who are you talking about?
But the fact
Don't bring religion onto the show.
I'm not. I'm just saying that's the point. They're going to be watching you.
I have long hair and
They can watch me today.
Looking like Jesus?
They can watch me today.
Jesus. You shouldn't think that I look like Jesus.
If they watch me, they will learn how to do things correctly.
And to be miserable.
And to be joyful, happy.
You didn't look happy this morning.
Who looked happy this morning?
Landy, was I excited to be in class?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Were you happy to be back from your 3-day weekend?
I wish it could have been longer.
Yeah, I mean.
There you go.
Time out. I agree too. Look, who wants to work? Look at Caesar. Who wants to work?
You're right about that.
You don't even work when you're at work.
You're crazy. I was working hard today.
Thank you, Landy.
I was working hard today.
When?
Working hard.
Lunch?
No, I was napping during lunch. That was a good sleep too.
So you really don't think, like, when you had the Boston bombing, that we kept Boston's... Look what it did. We came together, and now we feel safer because we know the system will keep... Look, the next bombers will be like, maybe I shouldn't do this because I'm being recorded all the time.
You really think that?
Yeah, it's the same reason we've had, like, less fights in the cafeteria.
Jefferson don't have fights to begin with.
We have a few.
Every now and again.
Yeah, but you don't think this helps? What about stealing? If you know you're going to get caught, which happens, y'all bad people out there that want to take things from people, you get caught. Those are high-def cameras.
How many years you been here at Jefferson?
9. This is my 9th.
You should know that they steal everything at Jefferson. If you leave it unattended for 10 seconds, when you come back, it is gone. Well, everybody know that. And those cameras haven't stopped that.
They've gotten the people in trouble that do it.
Oh.
Just not in the classrooms.
Oh.
Once you're in the classroom, you're in free zone.
Oh. But pretty soon we'll have them in class.
Yep, guaranteed.
And then all people like yourself be moaning and groaning.
I ain't moaning. I like being on camera. How y'all folks doing?
When your friend,
the camera loves me, boss.
When your friend,
who's my friend?
Your friend who works downtown in that building on Kennedy, when he's texting you and going, "What are you doing in the classroom?"
Yeah, and I'll be able to answer and be like, this is a social experiment.
And it'd be like, that's nonsense. You supposed to be teaching. Did you see the video on our African brother who coming in on
No, I haven't watched any videos.
Oh, you ought to see some of the stuff he's talking about. How instead of developing the young student, we develop a number and a letter.
So you're saying we shouldn't have grades anymore?
I didn't say that.
You're the first person to be like, I'm gonna throw that big old F, big old fat F.
Nonsense, Boyko.
I
mean, that is true, but the nonsense is the way you say it.
That sounds like something from that Dave Chappelle skit. Nonsense. I mean, that's true. Nonsense.
But no, in the sense that because we have to worry about grades and numbers and stuff like that, instead of developing the human. And
I agree.
Watch your friend.
Time out. Have you read the new school-wide, the county mission statement?
Why would I read that?
Okay, first off,
it's not like they're gonna really follow it.
Time out. It's 6 words long. Even you could make it. Okay. It says we want to help students in their future lives. It doesn't say force them into college.
You really think they're gonna help them in their future lives?
No, but I think that's our goal as the teachers.
If they want to help them in their future lives, they bring back auto mechanics. They would actually have.
I agree.
They would provide more computer, electronic engineering and things like that. Sending these kids to college to only find out they got debt and no job.
Completely agree.
Now, if they want to help them with their lives, they would be providing us with the skills and resources needed so we can help these poor young children so that they can be far more successful and more equipped for the real world.
And maybe that's the goal of the county. But I'm with you. I know. First off, this is going to go on YouTube at some point. So, yeah, the county. Yeah.
There you go. See, there you go. That's why you be shaking their hands eagerly. That's why you.
Look, I got my issues with the county technology. Our computers are garbage. I can barely run a PowerPoint, more or less, if I want to do some like streaming and connect to another school across the country.
You know, next year they supposed to upgrade our.
Yeah, and we'll get another severely overpriced, set of computers from another company that'll tank after we buy them, so that there's no support.
It'll be like the Edsby experiment.
But I like Edsby. No, Edline.
Like Edline.
I like Deadline.
But the
I mean, Edsby just has too many bugs, and I think we
were all these years,
we were its beta. We were the beta test. Like, hey, teachers, tell us what's wrong with it. How much time you got, buddy?
But after all these years.
Like, I'm clicking on this class and it's not working.
How many years have we had Edsby now?
3?
Yeah.
Has it been 3?
And it still don't work good.
Doesn't work well. You're right.
After 3 years. And I'm supposed to put my confidence
sorry,
in
Edsby.
the school district.
We're sorry. The call you've been making is not apparent. Sorry, Edsby.
And I'm supposed to put my confidence.
No, I'm really not sorry to Edsby.
And I'm putting my confidence in the school district.
Do you think Edsby still exists, or did they tank too?
You mean Edline?
Well, Edline probably still exists. They had a decent system. Just talking about Edsby in general. Are we just using like a dead server?
I hope so. It seemed like it.
Doesn't mean we'll stop using it.
I miss Edline though. Edline was nice.
Edline was cool. You could put tests on it, right?
I put everything. I put everything on Edline, and it graded it for you.
What did you do?
What?
What did you do in your classroom?
What you talking about? We worked. It gave me more time to. It gave me more time to show useful videos, because I didn't have to spend a day giving a test.
That's your class. They're like, what? You're teaching today?
Do you know what I went and bought this weekend, Boyko? Even though I know I could have got it much cheaper.
Mad Max. That's what I watched this weekend.
I went and got Selma.
Oh yeah. I need to borrow it from you because I didn't see it in theater.
Oh!
The white guy wasn't invited on your field trip.
Ugh.
Well, one of them was. Your boy.
My boy?
Yeah.
Who's that?
The principal.
Mr. Quinn?
The other guy. The old principal, sorry. The man we won't speak of.
How is he my friend when he texts you?
He barely texts me.
Oh, has he texted you over the last few weeks?
Yeah, because we've been riding on the show.
All right then, I rest my case. Your friend.
He threatened me.
He
threatened me.
Threatened us.
Okay, it did include your name, which, by the way, was second in the text. He said the Boyko and Balkmon show.
And that's not
clarifying.
That's not what he said.
Yeah, it is. Did I forward it to you?
Yes, you did. Remember?
Look, don't pull it up just to prove me wrong. This is part of the show.
After a while, you should be getting used to it.
He probably just said on the show. He probably just said on the show.
Oh, man.
Whatever.
Continue on, Boyko.
Look, I made my argument. Look, these cameras at least... Yeah, are they for controlling population? Yes.
So when the
population isn't controllable.
So we're into mind control now.
Not mind control, it's behavior modification.
Oh, it ain't modifying no behavior.
Did you run those lights?
It said B&B. It ain't say nothing about no Boyko and Balkmon.
He meant Boyko first.
He don't know. Probably because he called you by your first name.
Yeah, he doesn't call you by your first. Oh, that's because you have like 4 of them.
Whatever.
What should I call him today?
Whatever. So you're happy with the cameras, fine.
I didn't say I was happy, but I do think they're a necessity.
You like cameras. You want cameras everywhere.
I think they're a necessity because we're not safe.
And that's the reason why, despite the cameras, people don't feel safe.
I think we feel safer with them. Come on. Look, if there's like a high-speed chase or something, it's all on video. If there's like look, if there's a car accident where someone does a hit and run, you're now protected. The douchebag who drives away can be found by their license plate. And then you can realize they don't have insurance. I rest my case.
No. Because if I say what I want to say, I know I'll be fired.
Oh, please then, do us all a favor.
I ain't saying it.
Do us all a favor.
I'm not saying it.
Come on, be brave. I'll turn the mic off right now. Here you go.
I'm not saying.
I turned the mic off.
All right, then. All them cameras, time and again, them cops been caught abusing.
Yeah.
And none of them have been punished.
Full crap.
None. They ain't been punished. Been caught on camera shooting and killing people.
The ones that have been proven.
Going beyond their scope and authority.
The ones that have been out of line have been handled.
Who?
Okay,
which ones?
The guy in South Carolina, he's on for charges for shooting that guy in the back. Then dropping the thing next to him.
He won't be convicted.
So this is all conjecture.
He won't be convicted.
Conjecture.
I bet he won't be convicted.
Conjecture.
Bet he won't be convicted.
Now you want to make a bet on it.
Look here. Look what happened in New York. That was on camera. It was justified.
I think that's still in appeals, so it's not over.
You can't appeal something then when there's no charge. They filed no charge.
Chunk of Freddie Gray? No, that's what's that guy's name?
Gardner, Eric
Gardner.
No charge. So did it make his life safer? No. It doesn't make our life safer if you're not gonna take care of those who abuse or are caught doing whatever. It's only selective.
What about the guy at the pool? He got suspended.
What guy at the pool?
The one who made just all the black kids lay down on the grass and none of the white kids? Like, it was blatantly clear. And this is the bad part, because the neighborhood...
So suspended with pay, I bet.
I don't know. He was suspended, and I think he's indefinite. No,
He's probably back at work.
We're working through it, Balkmon.
Working through it.
We are. We discussed. Look, even someone like me who's intelligent...
Okay.
Really, I knew that was going to be a hit. I should have just paused. Oh, wait, I did. So even someone like myself who is somewhat educated needed a lesson on the history and how we need to change it. And let's talk about that, because I want this on camera. We went to a training over the summer, and the training was how we need to speak more on African-American
pre-planning
history in our school. And yes, it's unfortunate that this took a lawsuit to make us do it.
A lawsuit.
But it's being done.
A lawsuit.
And this is the part that bothered me.
Who's bringing the lawsuit?
The federal government.
And?
I don't know who's the
N. NAACP.
Okay, the NAACP.
Who represents what group of people?
National Association of Colored People.
So the black folk.
And Hispanics are included in there.
So blacks and minorities are suing who?
Hillsborough County.
Which probably.
Do you think we should continue that part of the discussion?
Okay,
it's a fact, but. I just like my job.
The black and the black and the brown.
I think that Hillsborough County's
are suing
racist.
Are suing who?
Hillsborough County schools.
Who obviously they view as what?
Racist.
You don't want to say it.
I don't.
White.
I think
the black and the brown are suing the white.
We have lots of people of minority descent in the upper echelons.
Well, then, if that's the case,
some of them are really awesome people.
I didn't say they weren't.
Like Dorothea Edgecombe.
I didn't say.
Shout out to Dorothea. I absolutely love you. You're one of the greatest people.
Mr. Brinson was my teacher in the 7th grade.
Brinson's up there.
Yeah, way up there. But still, superintendent.
It's a white guy.
Okay. His deputy.
Clearly white.
All right, we're moving on. So
isn't he? He's a half Cuban though. No. Yeah, he's all white.
No, I think because his mother.
Yeah.
Got a piece of got a little line in it. Still, the fact remains. All these.
Can I finish my story?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because this ain't white guilt or anything, but this is important for me to get out there. So we're sitting there and they have this it was an icebreaker that we didn't do because we didn't have time, but it had squares and each square had a question and the answer was an African American famous person. And they went through and asked these questions and it wasn't my issue that the white people didn't know the answer. My issue was that black people didn't know the answers.
Nobody knew the answer.
That's what concerned me.
Almost nobody knew the answer.
Because these were important questions, and no one knew the answers to them, which means we are not teaching, not just history in general, overall, but we're not even teaching African Americans their own history. It has been removed, or not even ever put in.
Let me ask you this. Why do you think that's the case?
I think we were in a transition in the 60s and 70s, and we haven't fully come out of this, and textbooks are a big deal.
Let me ask you this, boy.
Rwanda. It was about textbooks.
Let me ask you this. Okay. If you were to ask any of our students at Jefferson, any student in Hillsborough County, 5 questions on World War II. What's the chance they'll get them right? I mean, I'm talking about very difficult questions.
Yeah,
but
the chances are pretty high.
You ask them,
like Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Who were they fighting? Who was in charge of Nazi Germany?
What brought the United States
basic questions.
Basic questions. If you were to ask them those same five basic questions about African American history, how you think they would do?
I think it would be mostly 0%, maybe a few 20%.
Now here's
that was really bad math there, quick.
But here's my argument. Yeah, you're right, 20.
Yeah, but it took me too long. I'm kind of embarrassed that it took me
surprise.
so long.
But
you didn't say it.
No, I'll let you drown. But
you would.
Here's my thing.
But I can swim.
If you don't know it, A, you can't teach it. But B, a lot of times
it doesn't exist. If you're not teaching it, it ceases to exist.
It ceases. And 2, a lot of them are too afraid to teach it because they're afraid of the discussion that might happen.
And a perfect example is the last few years, because everyone knows that's taken me, that I used to ride on Balkmon and be like, Balkmon, you don't teach U.S. history, you teach African American history. Because he always seemed to be talking about black people when I walked in his classroom.
Because they are American history.
And this is what we need to start making sure is part of our curriculum, that it is fully included in our U.S. history. Not just, oh, they were slaves and then they are working to be free. We need to talk about their past in Africa.
Their true contribution.
We need to talk about what has not been talked about.
Their true contribution.
True.
But I think most teachers are afraid because...
Yeah, look at the criticism that someone who, we're friends, a friend, joked. Imagine a teacher who isn't friends with you, what they would say, especially if they were maybe a little nervous of civil rights.
Or afraid of the discussion that might happen. You know, you ask a question or something like that, and a student responds. Remember we watched the little video? Now I don't control the room. And now everybody in the room doesn't know I don't know it. And most adults are not man enough or woman enough to say, let me do some research on it because that's not an area. Remember I told my kids after school, when it comes to World War II, you know far more about it than I do. Did I seem bothered by that?
No, we accept that we all have things we're good at.
Yeah, there's just areas I'm not as comfortable.
Which is why the Holocaust question that I got wrong was such a bad thing.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Because it's not my subject.
Yeah, and I looked like an idiot.
Because, you know
how many books I've read on the Holocaust, Landy? Probably 30.
And yet the guy who probably read one book.
Not at all.
I learned my Holocaust from Dr. Kleiner.
Yeah, Kleiner. Shout out to Dr. Kleiner. Holy moly. Look, people died. It's a very bad time period. Like, oh my God, that guy. You want to talk about
what class I took with Kleiner?
Super German. Probably killing. Was it something?
It was
genocide.
Hitler and Nazi Germany.
Oh, you did specifically Nazi Germany?
Yeah, I did Hitler and Nazi Germany.
He stopped teaching that, so you were lucky when you got it. He got away from that. Probably too many notes on the board or whatever.
I took Hitler Nazi Germany.
Because his family got out of Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
They were very anti-Nazi.
But wasn't his father part of the Nazi party for a while?
You know, I think at the beginning,
yeah,
I think the story is he was part of it, and then when he saw where it was heading, he's like, I want nothing to do with this.
Yeah, he was a part of it. I think a little bit.
And that's why, did you ever see Werner von Rosenstiel when he came and spoke? Yeah.
Yeah.
What a great man.
The sauce.
What a great man.
He was funny. I remember the sauce.
The sauce.
Because he was a lawyer. He was
a lawyer for Hitler.
And he
knew where all the paper. He filed the paperwork.
Yeah,
and so when he started to see certain groups of people showing up on lists,
that's all.
He didn't want to do it anymore.
But think about it. Most are far more comfortable talking about that
stuff they know
than to talk about something that potentially could go, why did we get treated that way? And they've got to answer it.
Yeah. And first off, let's take it from perspective of the group that's been in power for so long. You never want to give up power, and it's very hard to, I don't want to say lower yourself, but to accept that the way things were not acceptable.
I mean, look at the debate over the flag.
Granted. And both sides have
down the flag, right?
And there's two sides,
okay,
except one has another group assigned to it, which is pretty ignorant.
But think about some of the things that were said. Oh, the Civil War was not about slavery.